to install some Maxpeeding rods, coilovers, in a E36 chassis BMW. Right here is my 1994 318 1.8 E36. Alright, for what comes in the box, the lower camber adjustment arm comes in a separate box than the big box this is setting on. You get 2 rear shocks, 2 rear springs, and 2 front coilovers, plus all the hardware to adjust. You have full adjustment right here on the shock. You have an adjustment right here on the perch. This is your ride adjustment. Then you have adjustment right here on your front. Do not, I repeat, do not touch the top 2 adjusters, because the preload on the front is already set to adjust it from the bottom with this adjuster method. These are adjustable right here and right here to adjust camber. Not bad for $275. Then 2, and then the other one is right here, if you see my finger. So there's 1, 2. If you get a better look at it right there. It's right here. 1, 2, and 3. But with this one, you're going to need 2 18s. One for this side and one for this side. This is 18 millimeter, 18 millimeter, 18 millimeter, and the other one on that side is 18 millimeter. And then you want to pop your ABS sensor off. With these, we go push it forward, then release it, and then you pull that out like that. And then you go, you can't see it from that side, well you can see the bottom one. You can pull the grommet out sideways right here, and same with this one for your brake line and your ABS sensor. They just slide on out, pull the grommets out of the holders. Once you get these 2 done and these 3 bolts, you come up top, you're going to want to remove the 3 13 millimeter bolts, and the whole strut and spring assembly will come out and ready for the new Maxpeeding rods. I want to put you guys on a time lapse and do it. Alright, now that I have removed this bolt, that bolt, and this nut, the bolt I kept in there so it don't fully drop down. I also put a jack up underneath there so the whole arm don't drop down. I took 2 out of the 3 13 nuts off up here. I'll take the last one off now. So we can go ahead and remove this old shock and strap. Alright, that was the final one for that. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this bolt out. Don't lose the washers, there's one on each side. Wiggle this a little bit. Alright. This right here. It's right in there. So we gotta separate that to get the assembly off. I already pulled those grommets out. To get that piece out, I just took my tire tool right here and just went like that and it totally popped out. And it don't look like we need that jack after all. Just move this all out of the way. Be careful of the brake lines. Wiggle it without catching any lines. As you see, kind of hard. Not hard, just tedious here to get that like that. Drop it down like that. Pull the old one out. We'll take this, set it in front of it, so I don't rip my brake lines off. And I'm going to go and do the same thing on the opposite side. On the driver's side, you have the brake wear sensor, so you have your top one, the brake wear sensor, then you have your ABS sensor, then your brake line. Alright, this is how much of an adjustment and lowering that we are going from the Maxpeeding rods to the stock. I did it at the lowest setting first, and then I'm going to adjust from there. But this is a big difference. I already did one side. I went ahead and adjusted the camber setting also to fully cambered, and if I don't like it, I will adjust it. Alright. I have this here so this don't fall and break my brake line. And I got them close to the same at the bottom, just to see where we're at. Put this in. this out of the way so we can get it fully to seat in. A little wiggle dance here. Alright, now that that's in, we are going to attach the lower 2 bolts, and remember that guide pin is there too. So I'm going to go ahead and get the 2 lower bolts connected and lined up on that guide pin, and throw the tire back on and see how low she sits, and then adjust from there before we do the back. Alright, there you have it, all the way at the lowest setting, and the most camber setting too. Bad news though. Listen. The wheel is hitting on the top of the coilover, the adjustment. So I either need to adjust it up a little bit more for the wheel to clear, or I need to add a spacer. It's only coming from, surprisingly, this wheel. And not from this wheel. But it is definitely lower. On this side. Now I have to do the back, which, as you see, the pieces are laying behind it at the moment. Alright, to install the rear, you have to take the back tire off, and then we have to take the spring out and the shock. There's 2 points up in there, and then there's 1 point down at the bottom here. I already loosened the bottom of them, and this simply is going to drop down here in a minute. There we go. It just dropped down, and I put the screw back in here. Alright, now that it came from right here. This was connected right there until I just undid it and screwed that back in, and this dropped down. Now as this drops down, you're going to have to bounce this, which I'll show you on the other side. I just got done doing it. I literally had to sit down on this to get it out. What I did was, I already took this out from the bottom here, 18mm. And then I wedged this down in here as far as I could. Came out here, pushed it down, and sat on it. You have to pull it from this part, but what I did was I pulled it from the bottom. So this was sitting in there like that. I pulled it from the bottom and loosened it and pulled it like that. And after wiggling it and bouncing it a couple times, about 15 minutes later, I finally got it out. It's a pain in the butt. Alright, now that you have your spring perch out on both sides and your shock disassembled on the bottom, if you're in a convertible like myself, you go and pull the back up, and up underneath here I have the back cover up, and then this is sitting down on it too, so I don't get smashed. I'll pull this up. Alright, we're going to remove those 2 bolts right there. They are 13 millimeters. We did the other side, so I'm going to do these. Alright, this is the difference between the stock blown suspension and spring to the Maxpeeding rods. Big difference. And this is the top of the car. This is the bottom of the car. It goes with the approach right here. It goes onto, take this little thing off. Be easier with one hand. I'll take it over to the car. I already have it sitting in there. Alright, so you have your perch pad. That's what it looks like without it. There's that. And you go like that. And you grab your spring, your adjuster, and you put your spring in like that with your adjuster in it. Sorry. Like that. And you press down to get it up over that. Like that. But I'm going to go for and go ahead and do the other side. Alright, now that we got it all tightened down and everything, we're going to put a tire on it to see how much lower it is. But you can see how much lower it is. If I'll hold it. Definitely tucking tire. Just hand tighten them right now just to see what it looks like. And that's how she sits. definitely a lot lower than stock. Alright, this is the end result. Tucking on the front. And we're definitely tucking on the back. It's, what I can tell, it's fairly even. Maybe a little bit high in the back, by maybe half an inch. But all in all, pretty happy. I didn't install the camber arms yet, because as you see, I'm running out of daylight. I'm waiting for it to settle. One thing I have noticed is the front tire right here is hitting on the back of the coilover, so I have to order some spacers.